The quarterfinals of the African Cup of Nations is officially here, and I'm going to predict my semi-finals, who I think is going to progress out of the four matches, the 8 teams remaining. Now, guys, I'm going to just use what I saw in the round of 16 as my reference point, right? My predictions in the round of 16 were based on what I saw in the group stage, but things have changed, different lineups, different situations. So I'm going to use what I saw in the round of 16 as kind of my backing for predictions for the quarterfinals, but also just overall taking into account the entirety of the tournament, the group stage, and round of 16. I'm going to predict why I think each team is going through. So now let's start with the first game. Actually, before I get to this video, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. More AFCON content will be here in the coming days, so prepare for that. Mali, Senegal is the first game of the quarterfinals, and this game is an interesting one because I think Mali actually match up well against Senegal, and in the sense that Mali are a very strong defensive team, right? So we know Senegal are fluid, a flowing attack. They're a team that can score freely, right? Free flowing, free scoring kind of team. The kind of team that can beat Senegal are a team that can sit deep, defend, and then break with pace. Mali have that, right? Mali have that capability to use against Senegal. That's the only way I think I can see this Mali team coming up with what I think would be a huge upset, right? But when I look at the Senegal team, the same things I've been saying all throughout the tournament, every time I mention Senegal has been, they're just too strong. They're strong offensively, they're strong in the midfield, and they're strong defensively, right? They don't really have a flaw in that team. They don't really have a weakness in that team. When I look at both of the teams playing at their absolute maximum potential, maximum levels, it's hard for me to see a world where Mali can beat Senegal, right? I think Senegal have too much talent. It's not even just about the first 11. It's about who they can even bring off the bench. The guys that they can sub in. Mali don't have that depth. Mali isn't as strong as the Mali teams of the last 2-3 tournaments, right? I don't think they have the same creativity in the midfield. I don't think they have enough up top. So I think it's going to be difficult for this Mali team to create chances, even possess the ball against Senegal. So for that reason, I'm going to predict Senegal to go through in this match. I think when you look at all the matches, all the fixtures, this is probably the game with the biggest disparity in terms of talent, in terms of if you ask 100 people, I'm sure most people would say Senegal will go through just because they're just an overall better team. So for that reason, in my opinion, Senegal will beat Mali in the quarterfinals, and I think probably a 2-0, 3-1 kind of comfortable victory. I don't think they'll struggle too much. I think it will be difficult to score against Mali, but I think eventually they'll just wear them down, right? Senegal are the type of team that even if you score first, even if you sit deep, they have ways to break you down. They have individual ability, like Njai, Sadio Mane still, even at this point in his career. And you have midfielders that can contribute as well in the attacking third. So I think for that reason, Senegal are going through against Mali, 2-0, 3-1 kind of victory. The second game is Morocco versus Cameroon. Now, this is a mouth-watering prospect, right? Because I've been a little bit harsh on Cameroon throughout the tournament. I've thought they haven't played to their full potential. I thought they haven't played exceptionally well, right? And I don't think they have the same level of talent that they've had maybe in past tournaments. Similarly with Mali. Morocco, on the other hand, are full of talent, are a team with so much talent, so much so you probably say they're one of the top 2-3 most talented squads in all of Africa. When I look at both of these teams, I don't think Morocco have actually played to their full potential either in this tournament. I don't think they've played that well. I don't think they've impressed that well. Even the way they played against Tanzania was not impressive. And Tanzania was a team that when we looked at that matchup, we figured Morocco would just walk over Tanzania, right? It would be an easy victory for them. They scripted that win. Cameroon are exponentially better than Tanzania, all due respect. So is it going to be a situation where because Cameroon will attack a little bit more, they'll come out of the shell a little bit more, Morocco can use the spaces, use their technical players to get in pockets and find opportunities to get guys like Akabi involved, Brahim Diaz involved, those types of guys. Is this kind of the ideal opponent for a Morocco team, right? Where you don't have to face a team that just sits back and packs the box and just basically parks the bus against you. Cameroon, they have a little bit more pride than that. They're a little, they know they have enough talent to beat Morocco, so they're not gonna go into that game, I think, as a defense, as defensive as Tanzania did. And I actually think that might end up hurting Cameroon in this game. I think when you play a team like Morocco, if you're not a team like, maybe a team like Senegal, if you don't have the same attacking or just overall talent that they have, you can't really go box to box. You can't fight them, hand-to-hand combat. You kind of have to have weapons hidden behind your back. Cameroon don't have that. So I think if Cameroon want to win this game, they have to kind of sit deep, use the pace of a Kofane, use the pace of a Mbuemo, try to get in behind. That's your tactic to kind of win this game. But when I think about all that in consideration, I think Morocco win this game. I don't think it's comfortable. I think Morocco haven't really shown anything exceptional in this tournament, and I'm not sure I'm confident in predicting that they'll be exceptional against Cameroon, but I think their overall talent on display will just push them over the edge, tip them over the edge ever so slightly against Cameroon. So the host Morocco progress to the semifinals for me, in my opinion. Tight game, 2-1, 1-0 kind of result, but I think Morocco will just somehow edge it. So that's my prediction for that game. The third game is Nigeria versus Algeria. Now, as somebody that has dissected every single performance of Nigerian national team this tournament, I can confidently say that they've either been the best team in this tournament or at least the second best team in this tournament, right? These are the only two teams in this tournament that have gone perfect. They've won all 4 games. So somebody's perfect streak ends in this matchup. I look at Nigeria, and I've said so much about Nigeria in all my previous videos. Look up any video with the word Nigeria in it in this tournament, and you see what I mean. But just a quick recap: the midfield and the attack of Nigeria is flowing better than I think any team in this tournament so far. The connectivity between the midfield and the attack, the options in attack, and the prolific nature of the attackers for Nigeria has been outstanding in this tournament. Lookman, Akor Adams, Victor Osimhen, exceptional in the attack. Very few teams in this tournament can say they've had 3 attackers at the peak of their powers in this tournament. And then you add into consideration the way Iwobi's been playing, the way Ndidi's been playing, the way Onyeka's been playing. Everybody's been performing at a very, very high level for the Nigerian national team. When I look at Algeria, I don't see the same. Now, Algeria are extremely talented, right? I mentioned a tweet I saw that said Algerians are the Brazilians of Africa. They have the technique, they have the skill, we all know about Algerians, we've known about them for years. But this Algerian national team is not playing well in this tournament. They're not playing to their full potential in this tournament. I don't look at this Algerian national team and think to myself, this is an unbeatable team. This is a team on par with Senegal, Morocco, Nigeria, even Ivory Coast in this tournament. I don't see them as that level so far in this tournament, right? I'm not saying they don't have the talent. I'm saying I haven't seen them perform to that level yet. They have to perform to their maximum potential in this game, or Nigeria will beat them, because Nigeria are just too good. This is not you're not playing an underdog. Honestly, if I'm being honest, if I'm being genuine, I think Nigeria are a better team than Algeria. Not just in this tournament, but when I look at the totality of the last year, I know Nigeria didn't make the World Cup, yes. But when I look at the totality of the squad, and in the last year, and especially in this tournament, so far, right now, Nigeria are a better team than Algeria. And I look at that Algerian national team, I struggle with the Riyad Mahrez inclusion. I know he's a legend of the game, legend of the Algerian football. I definitely feel like he's holding that team back. I feel like when they bring in Haj Musa, you see a lot more from that team, right? Mazza has been good. He's been decent. You have Boadi, Benacer in the midfield, Chaibi. I don't think they have a lot of good ball players, but they don't have enough fire and power and punch in the final third, right? When Bunijad comes in, you see a little bit more, physicality up top. You see a little bit more, presence in the box, but they don't have enough oomph. That's just the word I want to use. They don't have enough oomph in the final third. Nigeria have that. And not just that. Algeria are not necessarily strong. These are not two teams that are strong defensively, right? These are not two teams I'm going to this game thinking they'll both keep a clean sheet. I'm actually fairly confident that neither will keep a clean sheet. But when I look at the attacks and I look at the prolific nature of Nigeria, the way they generate so many chances, so many shots, and they can generate any kind of chance for their attackers, right? Whether it's headed, you have too much physicality with the likes of Akko Adams, the likes of Victor Osimhen, and then you bring in the skill and technique of someone like Lukman. You look at this Nigerian national team and you look at the Algerian national team, the three best attackers, the three best, forward players are Nigerians, right? I don't see the same prolific nature in the Algerian team, and I think that is what's going to cost them in this game, 2-1 to Nigeria. I think if Algeria had someone like Osimhen, if they have someone like Lukman, someone prolific in the final third, I would be more confident in predicting that Algeria will win this game. It's not because that Nigeria is just better than Algeria, all positions on the pitch, but that final third is such a key position, area in the pitch. And I think Nigeria have more than Nigeria in that position, and I think that's why Nigeria will progress to the semi-finals. Now, the last game of the quarterfinals is Egypt versus Ivory Coast. It's been well documented that I don't really think this Egyptian national team is that good. I don't think you surrounded Salah and Marmoush with competent enough high-level players. And I just don't think the Egyptian national team is producing high-level players at present moment, right? Listen, like I said with Mali, like I said with Cameroon, we're kind of in a decline in terms of the Egyptian national team talent pool, right? I expected somebody else other than Salah to be carrying this team. Marmoush, show up. You haven't really shown up on a consistent basis. Zizou, decent. Zizou, I'm thinking of Algeria again. Zizou, decent. Trezeguet, decent, but gets injured. Atia in the midfield, very good player. But other than that, I don't really see much in this Egyptian national team. But when I look at this Ivory Coast team, my goodness, this team is strong. This team is strong. Yeah, first of all, you have the solid nature of Sangare and Frank Kessie in the midfield. And then you bring in this new kid, Chris Inau. He looks a supreme baller in that midfield. Young teenager, exceptional midfielder. But that's not even the main thing. Ahmad Diallo on the right wing and Yan Diomande on the left wing are the two. That might be the two. That might be the best wing. That might be the best wing combination in all of Africa. That might be a top 5 wing combination in all of the world. Really, they're that. Okay, maybe I'm. That's another discussion for another day. But that's such a strong front line. It doesn't even matter who you put in between them. You could put Wilfried Zaha. You could put Evan Gisson. It doesn't matter. Those two by themselves will cook up something against any team in this competition. I look at that, and then I look at the team that Egypt will put out. It's hard for me to imagine a world where Egypt can win this game. You're actually hoping for Mo Salah to unlock peak 17, 18 to 2021, 2022's Salah. You're hoping he pulls up Liverpool form from last season, where he can just carry a bunch of underperforming attackers. That's really what you're hoping for. You're hoping for Salah to really just show up and carry this team. I don't think he can. I don't think he will, especially after going 120 minutes in the last game. I don't think he has it in him. And that's from somebody that loves Mo Salah more than almost every Liverpool player ever. I don't think he has enough in his tank. He needs more from his teammates, but I don't think his teammates have enough. I look at this Ivorian team, they're too strong. They have too many options in the attack. They're too strong in the midfield. They're just a better team than Egypt, and that's why I'm predicting Ivory Coast move on 2-1, 3-1. Generally comfortable. I think you're absolutely hoping for a Mo Salah masterclass, turning back the clock to be able to pull Egypt through, and I just don't see it happening. So for that reason, Ivory Coast are progressing. So overall, Senegal beating Mali, Morocco beating Cameroon, Nigeria beating Algeria, Ivory Coast beating Egypt. And that sets up a mouth-watering prospect for the semifinals. And listen, I think all things considered, all things go right, all things being equal, all teams playing to their absolute peak maximum potential, I think these predictions will be correct. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Peace out.